Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third and final round of the 2022 Maple Hill Invitational. We've got a great matchup here for you in singles match play. We've got Ferris State going up against Mizzou. Our top competitors will square off. This is a match play format, singles. Meanwhile, on the next card, we actually have doubles taking place. However, we're going to give you the action right here as they head over to the Maple Hill Gold Course for the third round of the day. And representing Mizzou, Drew Cantrell. He's squaring off against Brendan Tetloff. Easily clearing over the water, no problem. He's going up against the lefty, Brendan. And if you're unfamiliar with match play, I guess the best way to explain it is that it's similar to skins, which you've probably been watching in recent years, except for each hole is an individual hole that can be won, lost, or tied. But regardless of what happens, nothing carries over to the next hole. Unlike skins will, if it's tied or pushed for multiple holes, then it carries over. So you could get to one hole where there's, say, we're 6 or 8 or 10 skins. That's not the case. You're just playing one individual hole at a time. And that's the most that you can earn is 1 point on a hole. And a moment ago, we saw Jared Brabant. This is Caleb Mergener. And Jared had gone out of bounds. So Caleb putting it in bounds, hopefully trying to apply some pressure here. And similar to what you see in a skins format, all you have to do is beat your competitor by any margin. It doesn't matter what it is, because that also doesn't carry over to the next hole. So in theory, you could win a hole by taking a double bogey 5. If your competitor that you're playing against takes a 6 or worse, then you win 1 point. So we're really only concerned about Drew squaring up against Brendan and then Jared squaring up against Caleb. And here's Caleb's forehand around the bend. And the fact that Jared had gone out of bounds once already means that Caleb likely could earn the point just with a par. This is Caleb's shot for par. And he correctly is very aggressive with it, knowing that he needs to throw that in because Caleb will likely get up and down. Meanwhile, Brendan in position for the par. And a mistake there by Drew. With Brendan right next to the basket, Drew will need to make this putt, likely to push the hole. Or to have the hole is actually, I believe, the correct terminology. And that's confidence. Halfway there, he knew it was in. And just when it looked like he was going to be down, he cans the putt. That's going to force Brendan here to make his putt. And their matchup will remain all square through hole 1. Meanwhile, the other team picked up and moved on. And that means Caleb is up 1 through 1. Drew and Brendan all square. Out of bounds and back quite a way, meaning getting a par is going to be awfully difficult because he's going to have to throw that in. And that really relieves a lot of pressure from Brendan here. He doesn't necessarily need a 2. It's likely that a 3 will win the point. And he's made it over the clearing, so he's looking at least at a 3, if not a long 2. Caleb leaks to that right side wall and is going to end up in the mucky area. So yes, in theory, if you're doing some math out there, on an 18-hole match like this is, in theory, it could be done as early as 10 holes in. Good solid bid by Drew, knowing he's going to need to put that in to save the 3. So he is deep of the pin. Jared with a solid recovery shot. He's looking at a 3. So a brief conversation ensued as to whether or not he gets any form of relief from there. That is not an OB pond or stream area. Certainly muddier than we're used to seeing. Oh, no. And at this point, you're wondering, do you sacrifice the shoes? I mean, it's only on hole 2. You're risking ruining shoes and possibly even getting your feet wet for the rest of the round. Now, these competitors have already played, most of them have already played 2 rounds on other layouts. You saw that in the first video. So it's already been a long day on a Sunday in May. And that's going to be a pitch up for Caleb, which will likely result in a 3. And here's where strategy comes into play. Brendan has absolutely no reason to try and put that in. If that hits off the cage and rolls away 50 feet and he walks away with a bogey 4, that's exactly what we were going to see from Drew. And so it just doesn't matter. I cannot stress that enough. All you need to do is beat your opponent by at least 1. Beating them by 6 on a hole doesn't get you any extra cool points or bonus points or style points. That would be pretty crazy. But all you need to do is beat them by at least 1. So that's why you can see sometimes some really short layups or very uncharacteristic throws, because you simply don't want to give away a possible point. So, Ferris State up 1 in both matches right now in the early goings. And a much cleaner shot for Drew. Advantage Cantrell. Heavy pull over there for Caleb. That's going to put him into trouble on the right-hand side. Very clean shot there for Jared. Again, big advantage here to Jared now. Looks like he's almost guaranteed a 3, possibly even a 2. And that doesn't go very far for Caleb. Jared wants to be aggressive here. Oh, and it skips just past the basket. And there's nothing more deflating than thinking you're about to win a point over your opponent, and then your opponent does something crazy and somehow puts you back on the defense. But right now, this is Drew looking at a long birdie bid. Brendan's already deep of the pin, so a birdie here squares up the match. And ultimately, he's looking at a 3. The pitch up by Jared, knowing that a 3 should win him the match, or correction, win him the hole. And here's Brendan. This is to have the hole. And off the top. So just like that, a moment ago, Brendan had gone up 1, and Drew's going to get it right back. So their match will be all square. And then we're seeing the exact same scenario in favor of Mizzou on the other side. Jared makes the match all square back up with Caleb.
You guys know Caleb? Caleb Blake.
Yeah, he's the blondie.
Which one? Caleb.
There's more than one Caleb? I'm confused. All right, both matches all square. It's as if we're starting over essentially at this point, and they just have 4 through 18 to possibly play. Drew off the mark. See if Brendan can capitalize. No. All right, so hole 4, showing you at just 275 feet, plenty of trees to navigate around. Right now, Caleb could look like a hero. Oh, that gets a long continued push all the way down to the left side. He's almost pin high. Jared's got to be thinking a 3 might push the hole. And that's trouble. Nice work by Brendan. That will secure him at least a par. The question is, will that be enough? And this has to be a full send for Jared. Oh, and does give it a good bid. He's knowing his opponent. Caleb likely has at least a par secured. So Jared trying to put that in. He's laying 3. Looking at a bogey 4. Good approach by Drew. And not needing the 2. Caleb's going to pitch it next to the pin, leaving him 12 or 15 footer. Drew will likely need this as he takes the par. Brendan's looking at a par most likely. And also you see in this format, a player may just flat out pick up or concede the hole. Sometimes you may be 300 feet away from the pin and you're throwing your 5th shot. Meanwhile, the person you're playing is underneath the basket looking at tapping in for a 3. In a case like that, you could just simply concede the hole. It's a lot of different rules, strategy, etiquette, all can come into play out here. They head over to hole number 5. Out and over the water. First match is all square. Second match, Caleb up 1. And the par job. Can the lefty answer and off the cage? Oh, a nasty kick, but Brendan almost trying to take the point. Knowing your opponent's parked. And another great drive. Caleb's forehand just deep. Looking about circle's edge or maybe a step or two inside of it. And another drive. So those two matching shot for shot. And unfortunately, the guy that hit the cage has the most work to do. His opponent, Drew, is parked. So this is Brendan to keep it square. And that's just heartbreaking to know that he was so close, almost aced it, almost earned himself the point, and then went so deep that he doesn't convert on the birdie look. And he's going to go down one. In the other matchup, Jared, first to act. Jared had the opportunity to at least secure having the hole. And Caleb's not messing around. Says, you give me that opportunity, I'm going to cash this in. I'm going up 2 through 5. And Drew is up 1 through 5.
You are Big D Dakota on hole 1 at Maple Hill. Your distance gives you 1D20 on the tee. Are you going to use 2 skill chips to get 3D20 and go for the eagle? Order your copy today and hope no one sneezes during your drive.
Pick up a birdie board game. Thanks to Todd and Steve Dodge, the Boda brothers, developing not only the disc golf board game, but also working on additional games. You can find those in their lineup at bodabrothers.com. So Drew with a clean shot. How can Brendan answer? Oh no, and a double ricochet puts him over the wall and out of bounds. Oh, and that looked like it almost slipped out of his hand, or I'm not sure what happened there, but out of bounds, not around even the initial corner. And Jared doesn't need to get greedy here. Thinking a 3 could almost for sure secure the point. All right, greedy or not, that is laced. And a great shot by Jared. So Jared's looking at likely a 3, maybe even a 2. And I love Caleb's attempt here. He's going for the hero shot, thinking he's got to put that in. And his best possible chance to do that was to go out and around, but it doesn't find inbounds. Now he's going out and around again. And it doesn't fight back enough. And he says, all right, we're done with hole number 6. And he concedes the hole. And after Brendan had gone out of bounds, his second shot had to be aggressive. Drew doesn't need the birdie. This would be unnecessary style points, so he's going to pitch up right next to the basket. And that match will go to all square. Oh, correction. That match means Drew goes up 2 now. I apologize, after Drew picked up the point on hole number 5. So Drew's up 2, and Caleb up 1 for Ferris State. Drew, I think he's finally hit the gap. That kicked off to the lower right-hand side. Opportunity for Brendan. And unfortunately, that kicks down into the right as well. Now, also so crucial, the positioning that you are relative to your opponent. Because if you think about it, you see them make a mistake or them park a shot or whatever the case might be, it's always great to know where you are relative to them. And if they're acting first, then you can react accordingly. They might put more pressure on you, but you also then realize if you need a simple layup or a safe shot or whatever it might be. So, in my opinion, getting closer to the basket, more crucial here than in regular stroke play. You see everyone just kind of hacking here on hole number 7. Okay, short right side, inside the circle, and that could be a great par recovery if he can convert. And the aggressive shot by Caleb goes way deep. In fact, he's over there by 14's green. And deep to about circle's edge as well. And Caleb's bid is off the mark. And what a recovery. Great par for Brendan. And I'll throw it out there that if any matches go all the way to hole 18 and then are all square through 18, there is a playoff contingency plan, and that's to go to the blue basket on hole number 1 as a CTP on hole 1. And dueling putters here by Drew and Brendan. And with that par, Jared's going to bring the match back to all square. And Caleb just wants a little extra putting practice. He's going to put in for the bogey. And as I said, that means that match is all square. Here we are, hole 8, 365. Drew calling it safe. Unfortunately, that's not the case. It comes up short on the left side. So Brendan just looking to put this on the green. That might be enough for the point. And great drive by Brendan. On the green. Meanwhile, Drew will have to go to the drop zone. Jared up to act next. Carrying a little momentum, picking up a few points in the last couple of holes. Their match all square. He also finds the green just deep of the pin, putting pressure back on Caleb to answer. And more than enough power. Going way deep on 8. So Drew goes to the drop zone after going OB. Death putt. 60 feet. Count it. And that is so crucial because now that will force Brendan to have to make his birdie putt. A moment ago, Brendan was thinking, well, he'll likely be able just to lay up. His opponent's probably taking a 4. And now pressure back on Brendan to actually make his birdie look. Caleb's birdie look off the top. Brendan to pick up a point and get within 1. Oh, left side chain. So he answers. Impressive nonetheless by Drew to make the putt, but it doesn't matter. Brendan makes a putt of his own, and he's down 1 through 8. Jared with an opportunity to go up 1.
Let's go, Jared. Yeah.
Count it. Jared, all the momentum yet again, picking up another point. He's got up 1 through 8. We head over to hole 9. And Brendan doesn't make it all the way over. Gets up to the top. He crests the hill. Drew, however, easily clearing over the top of the hill, pushing off to the right side, and that's long jump range zone from there. Possible eagle opportunity from there. Not the favorable Aaron Rodgers discount double check or double kick. Or really anything for that matter. That's going to be a little bit of work. However, Caleb out in front over the hill, definitely in a better position, but Jared looking to go for the hero shot. And it carries wide right. That's out of bounds. Jared certainly in trouble here on 9. And so pretty. Nice little touch floater. Brendan in great position. Now Caleb's thinking he just has to get this safe. And fake me out. Thanks, Caleb. I'll own that. And Matt Graham on the catch cam getting out of the way. Big shout out to Matt. Not only did he hustle around and capture a ton of footage, him along with Todd Dodge, but also edited together the round 1 and 2 recap for us. So thank you so much, Matt. That's how we got here. Seeing here our championship final round. And that will do it for Jared on hole 9. Brendan puts in. And smart play by Caleb. He wants to secure the point. He's going to bring the match back to all square. Meanwhile, Mizzou on the other matchup is up 1 through 9. We've got an incredible battle going on. Don't go anywhere. We've got more golf to play. They're heading to the back 9. We'll see how long it takes. This incredible matchup. We're here for the Maple Hill Invitational. We'll see you on the back.